you all about feelings of inadequacy, because if you're human, you have felt like you are falling short in some area of your life, or you don't feel like you have what it takes to accomplish something. It happens to all of us, whether you feel like you really want to go after a certain job, but you don't know if you have the qualifications that it's going to take to maintain the job. You don't know if you have the interview skills it's going to take to get the job. Whether you feel like, I just really have this burning desire to write a book, but I don't know any authors, I don't know where to start. How is God going to use me in this situation when I just don't have what it takes? I mean, so many different scenarios, guys. You want to go back to school for something. You want to try out for something that you've never done before, and you just don't have the networking system. You've never seen the people around you do it. There are generational curses in your family, and you just completely count yourself out because little old me from the hood, or little old me who has no support system, little old me who has never been able to accomplish something as grand as this before, how am I going to be able to do this? And so I wanted to give you this video to just dispel those feelings in you, because those feelings of inadequacy, I have felt them before. I have felt broken. I have felt like I needed someone's validation. I needed someone to give me that yes you can, or I needed a materialistic thing to give me worth. Just needing something outside of myself to give me that oomph. Like feeling halfway full, but if I accomplished certain goals, if I had a certain title, if I finished a certain degree, if I was attached to certain people, if I dated so-and-so, then all of a sudden I would have everything that it took to be whole and to be happy and to accomplish all of my fondest desires. And that is absolutely false. But what I have found is 100% true, is that God completes us. He is who makes us whole. He is who gives us the capability to accomplish the things that we set our mind to. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of a story for you guys. In one way that I have felt completely inadequate, and I don't know if you all know, but I used to do pageants. Might do them again, I don't know. But I used to do pageants, but what I didn't like was talking. When it came time to get on stage and answer that, on stage question that only top 5 did, I shrunk. There were times where it was just like, I know I really want to win this pageant, but Lord, please don't even call me up there to the front to answer this question, because I don't know what I would say. I mean, the nerves, you all would never even imagine. And I was so deathly afraid of that, because I knew myself. I knew what I was capable of. I had done it before, and I knew I'm gonna trip up on these words. So I took some time off. I took about a year off, and then when I went back into pageantry, I did the same exact system. But before I did it, I prayed about it. God, I completely give this to you. If you want this for me, I give you permission to completely just use me, God. I want to do this to bring glory to your name. If I win this, I'm going to use this as a platform to speak about you to people. So I just completely surrendered myself to him. And I get on stage to answer the question, and it felt just like it did before. I mean, I felt like I was shaking. Like you could visibly probably see me shaking, even though that you couldn't. And sweating, and my heart beating fast, and all of the things, and not being able to see. It just felt like the crowd went black. But when it came time for me to open my mouth to actually answer the question, I felt like never in my life have words flowed so elegantly off of my tongue. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Afterwards, I'm just like, I don't even ask me verbatim what I just said. I have no idea, but I just felt God use me in that moment, because in me, just myself, I wasn't capable of doing that. Time and time again, I showed that I wasn't. But when I fully surrendered and I wanted to invite God into that moment, I may have been half full, but he filled me up the absolute rest of the way. And I mean, he just showed out that day. I mean, he shone through me so much. So much. And so I give him the complete glory and honor for that, because I could not have accomplished that without him. All right, but enough about me and back to you. So in these moments where we feel like I just don't have the capabilities myself, I'm nervous about it, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. You may even be capable of actually doing it. You may have what it takes, but your nerves and your mind and your self-doubt and you questioning yourself and you claiming failure before you even try, you talking yourself out of it is the thing that's holding you back. And when we start to feel like this, we have to call on God and we have to invite him in our situations. And so there are so many things that, I mean, whether you want to go to medical school, but you heard it was hard, whether you want to apply for a certain job, but you don't know anyone in that field, you want to start a podcast, you want to start a business, you want to start selling things, you want to start baking things, you want to do these things, and God has placed a desire in your heart. You feel that you've been called to this certain position or this certain situation, but for some reason you're talking yourself out of it because little old you is just, you've never been able to, and I don't just know if I can, and all of the things. If God has placed that desire inside of you, he never intends on playing us. Like, let's just get that out of the way. God isn't going to call us to a scenario and not equip us to do it. Speaking of equipping us to be able to do things that he's called us to, I want to refer you to Exodus chapter 4, verse 10. So in Exodus, you know, we all know the story that Moses is called by God to deliver the Hebrews outside of Egypt. The Hebrews have been in slavery for hundreds and hundreds of years, so they're scared, and you know, they're kind of used to this certain environment. And so he's calling one man to lead all of these people out of Egypt, out of the only place that they know, the place that they're so fearful to leave, into the unknown pretty much. And so I think we think of Moses and we think, you know, he accomplished this great thing and he just let himself totally be used by God. And when I think of him, you know, I think, well, he must have not been scared. There's no way he was scared. There's no way that he didn't have courage and he wasn't brave and that there's no way. No way. He didn't second guess. He didn't stumble over his words. He just was freely used by God, right? But Exodus chapter 4 shows us that Moses actually, I mean, he's human, just like us. He was called to a certain situation by God. God completely explained the scenario. Moses was like, wait, hold up. Like, I don't know if you mean me, like little old me. So Exodus verse 10 is where I'm going to start reading, but it would really, really be to your benefit to read the entire chapter 4. It's a great chapter. But you know, previous to this verse, God is explaining to Moses what he wants him to do, what he wants him to say, and how he's going to perform these miracles to deliver all of the Hebrews. So verse 10, Moses said to the Lord, pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. The Lord said to him, who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and will teach you what to say. And so this just wrecks my whole life, because a lot of times we do question, are you sure you want me to go here? Are you sure you want me to do this? Are you sure that you want me to write the book, or is this just my own burning desire? Because I feel like I'm incapable of doing this, God. I have felt broken my entire life. I have failed at so many things. There are so many accomplishments that I have wanted to do that I've not been able to. Are you sure me? Are you sure you can use me? But we have heard this time and time again. God equips the called. He gives you what you need to get done what he's called you to. He is not going to tell you, I want you to go over here and do all of these things, and not give you anything necessary to do it. What sense does that make? That's not a loving father. God has given you, whether it's already inside you and you don't know, and it's going to take the situation for it to be called out, or whether it's something that he is going to give you as you move forward toward the situation. He's going to help you do it. So the reason why this passage just blows me away is because we see Moses in his most human form questioning himself, and we do that to ourselves, right? I challenge you today to take this to heart. God said this to Moses, but he also means it for each and every single one of us. We are his children. We are children of God's kingdom. He has called us to all do things to bring glory to his kingdom, and he has fully equipped us to do that. So whatever you have this burning desire for, and you are questioning whether or not you're capable of doing it, God is going to meet you halfway. You just have to take those first few steps to meet him in the middle. I promise you, he would not have brought you this far if he didn't plan on walking with you the rest of the way. So I pray that this word does not fall on deaf ears. I pray that you have gained a sense of encouragement and a sense of courage, and that you will march forward like never before toward the dreams that God has placed down on the inside of you. I believe in it for you. Peace and prayers, you guys. I will see you soon. Stay encouraged.